A man brings a dead alien creature home from a crashed UFO. A frozen alien body is found in the Siberian snow. A humanoid creature is found lurking in a man's backyard, and more. These are mysterious beings not from Earth, caught on camera. In October 1996, a man named Jonathan Reed, who described himself as a psychologist, was out walking with his golden retriever in Seattle, Washington. He was heading toward a wooded area near the edge of town when things took a weird turn. His dog suddenly reacted to something in the trees and ran straight into the forest. Reed followed it in. He said he reached a clearing, and that's when he saw his dog barking and attacking something standing there, a small, humanoid figure about the size of a 12-year-old child. According to Reed, it was wearing a tight, seamless black suit and had a strange, unstable, quote, vibrating look to its movement. Reed claimed the figure suddenly attacked his dog, tearing it apart. After his dog was dead, it turned to white ash, and that's when the creature turned toward him. Reed grabbed a large stick and struck it in the head with full force. The figure went down and stopped moving. Right after that, Reed reported hearing a low humming sound nearby. He followed it deeper into the woods and came across a black object hovering just above the ground. He had a small camera with him and managed to capture it. After approaching the object, the humming stopped and everything went silent. Reed then returned to where the creature had been. He decided to take the body with him. He wrapped it and brought it back to his home, placing it in the freezer. The next day, he filmed the creature inside his house. He was operating on it. Footage which has since become infamous in UFO and alien forums, by the way. Shortly after the incident, though, Reed said he noticed these white vans outside his home with people watching him. And then, according to him, he came home one day to find his house had been searched and the alien creature gone. He later said that he was followed, threatened, and even shot at, which pushed him into staying silent for years. When he finally went public, he appeared on UFO radio shows and conferences and released parts of his story along with the footage and images. Now, to say this account is far-fetched would obviously be an understatement. People were highly skeptical, and someone pointed out things that didn't quite line up in his story, and it's convenient that there was never any physical evidence for anyone to properly test, but Reed never backed down. He's always stuck with his story. Back in April 2011, a video from Russia suddenly started spreading across the internet after it appeared to show the body of a dead extraterrestrial lying in the snow. The footage was filmed by two men who claimed they'd stumbled on the thing while walking through a wooded area. Laying near a tree stump was what looked like a small humanoid body. It had an oversized head, thin limbs, dark eyes, and part of one leg appeared to be missing. One of the men said, "We found him around 2 hours ago. Must have been lying here for days." According to the story that circulated with the footage, a dog had supposedly led them to the body. Interestingly, there had also been reports in the area at the time of unusual objects in the sky. Michael Cohen of All News Web wrote that people had witnessed a UFO crash that was, quote, deliberately kept from public view. He also asked the question, is the alien seen in this video a survivor of that crash who managed to leave the area only to die as a result of Russia's harsh conditions? Well, within days, millions of people had watched the video. Some were convinced that they were looking at genuine evidence of an alien being. Others said it was just a bunch of BS. The official story in the years since is that this was a hoax, but is it possible they were just trying to cover it up? What do you think? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. On December 1st, 1987, a retired police officer using the name Philip Spencer went out for a morning walk across Ilkley Moor in West Yorkshire, England. He had a camera with him and a compass in his pocket in case the fog rolled in, which apparently wasn't unusual for the area. While crossing the moor, Spencer said he noticed something ahead on the trail. First, it just looked like a small figure standing there. As he got closer, he described it as about 4 feet tall, dark green in color with an oversized head and long, thin arms. The creature lifted its arm in a gesture that he took as a warning to stay back, but instead of turning away, he pulled out his camera and took a photo. That image is the centerpiece of everything that followed, a blurry figure in the distance standing in the open moorland fog. Spencer said the creature then ran off and he chased after it. Spencer claimed that as he lost sight of the figure, he suddenly saw a craft rise up from the moor. He said it was whitish, made of two saucer-like sections that were joined together, one stacked on top of the other. He also reported this loud humming sound as it lifted into the sky and disappeared. After the encounter, he said he ended up walking in a different direction than he planned and eventually realized that something was off with the timing. He believed that he'd lost around 2 hours. Even his compass, which he brought specifically for navigation, was pointing the wrong way. Well, not long after, he reached out to UFO researchers Jenny Randles and Peter Ho, and the photographs started circulating. Experts were brought in to examine it. A wildlife photographer who looked at the image said it didn't match any known animal. Kodak lab staff reportedly said they found no evidence of tampering. At the same time, other experts like U.S. Navy optics specialist Bruce Maccabee said the image was just too grainy to make any firm conclusions. And then there's the part that makes the case even more strange. Spencer later agreed to undergo regressive hypnotherapy on March 16, 1988. Under hypnosis, his account changed. Instead of just seeing the creature, he now described being paralyzed, lifted, and taken into a craft, where he said a voice told him to stay calm. Inside, he claimed he saw green beings performing medical procedures, including inserting objects into his nose and mouth. After these supposed memories flooded back, he reinterpreted the whole encounter. Maybe the creature hadn't been warning him to stay back. Maybe he was actually waving goodbye to him after he was returned to the Moor. Around 2011, a YouTube channel called Ivan0135 uploaded a set of short clips with no explanation attached. The videos show this gray humanoid figure with a big head and dark eyes, your classic gray. In one clip, it's sitting at a table in what looks like some kind of control room. In another, it's standing and slowly moving around, mostly small head turns and slight shifts in its posture. Everything is black and white and really grainy, like old tape or degraded footage. No one's ever been able to confirm where the videos came from or who actually made them. There's also been a lot of technical breakdown, looking at the grain, the noise, and compression patterns in the footage, and some argue that the grain looks like real camera noise rather than something added on top. Now, real or not, it is pretty eerie stuff, but what do you think? Back in 2022, a man named Harry Hayes was out jogging in Sydney, Australia, after days of heavy rain had flooded parts of the street. He spotted something strange sitting on the road. It was small, fleshy looking. It looked like some kind of embryo. He pulled out his phone and started filming it while trying to figure out what he was looking at. He thought it looked like some kind of embryo, but also joked that with all the crazy stuff going on at the time, the wars, the global pandemic, he wouldn't be surprised if it was some sort of mutated creature or alien. He uploaded the clip to Instagram, where it quickly started spreading and pulling in all kinds of theories. Some people thought it could be a shark embryo washed up during the flooding. Others suggested a mutated tadpole, and some also went straight to the alien angle. Even people with biology backgrounds weren't so sure what it was, though. Zoologist Ellie Elisa shared the image and wrote, "Hey world, what is this thing? I thought possible glider, possum embryo, but I have no context or scale, and none of my peers can agree. What is this? Hashtag mystery blob." Now, this is one of the most infamous, supposedly real alien creature videos on the internet. It was recorded in Denver, Colorado by a man named Stan Romanek in 2003. He said he started noticing something outside his home at night. Someone or something was coming up to the window and looking in. Thinking it might be someone messing around or possible intruder, he set up a camera aimed at the window to catch it. What he ended up capturing was this pale, humanoid-looking figure peering into his window. It rises into view, lingers there for a moment, then drops out of sight. It comes back into frame a couple times. The video was later shown publicly in 2008 at an event organized by UFO researcher Jeff Peckman, where it was presented as possible evidence. And after that, it started spreading online and getting picked apart frame by frame. Romanek has insisted the footage is real, and just one incident that he managed to capture on camera amongst a whole bunch of odd experiences that he had around his home. Out in Dubina, a rural stretch of Fayette County, Texas, Michael Demmel has been running trail cameras on his property for years. They're set up all over the place to catch wildlife moving through at night. Coyotes, bobcats, raccoons, that kind of thing. He checks them every day, and after 10 years of doing it, he knows what normal looks like on those images. Well, one night a photo came through that kind of freaked him out. At first, Michael said he thought it might be a monkey. Already insane to see in the wild in Texas. The picture is blurry, but there is something definitely crouching there, about the size of a medium dog. But the shape is weird. It's super spindly, doesn't appear to have fur either. He showed the image around to his friends, and once it started spreading, people started throwing out ideas. Some said chupacabra, alien, or skinwalker. Michael said, "In the 10 years I've been reviewing my cameras, I've never encountered anything like it." Uploaded back in 2011 to a YouTube channel called Hola Bible, this clip comes from a guy in Oregon who says he started hearing strange noises coming from the forest behind his home. He points out that he's out in a pretty isolated spot, about 6 miles from the nearest city, so hearing stuff moving around there at night isn't exactly normal. Grabs a night vision camera and heads out to check it. First, it's just dark woods and brush, but as he moves deeper in, he eventually spots whatever's making the sound. Crouched down in the vegetation is this pale, hairless-looking figure. It doesn't really move like an animal you'd expect to see out there, and the shape of it is hard to place from the footage. He zooms in to get a closer look, trying to figure out what he's actually looking at. The camera shakes a bit as he focuses on it. The figure is still there in the brush, low to the ground, and then reacts. Scary stuff. What is it though? An alien creature, a rake, a naked man with glowing eyes, a hoax? Share your thoughts down below. But that has been the video, and I will catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next one.